We have discovered that helping agencies across the country are very concerned about their future. They are wondering how in the world can they do more with less. You see, most helping agencies struggle to maintain a constant flow of resources that can sustain and advance their mission. Many agencies, with limited staff and volunteers, cannot keep pace with the increased demand for services. Also, people's needs are becoming more complex and beyond the scope of many agencies, which for the most part are not connected to a community-wide care network or referral system. Because of this, many children, youth, and adults go without access to effective programs and services that can help transform their lives. Most helping agencies realize that more needs to be done. However, they feel powerless in developing lasting solutions in their community because of a lack of resources. Not only are helping agencies concerned, but funders are very concerned as well. If you have not felt it yet, the expectations of funders are changing and could catch many helping agencies off guard. Funders want more assurance that the right resources get into the right hands at the right time. Funders are growing more interested in tracking transformation rather than tragedy. For example, funders are grateful that helping agencies are tracking how they are meeting the needs of long lines of hungry individuals and families. However, funders believe making those lines shorter by striving to end food insecurity in a community is a better lasting solution. Mario Marino, author of A Leap of Faith, Managing Outcomes in the Era of Scarcity, suggests the cold reality that in our present era of unsustainable debts and deficits, our nation simply will not be able to justify huge subsidies for social sector activities and entities without more assurance that they're on track to realize results. Public funders, and eventually private funders as well, will migrate away from organizations with steering stories alone toward well-managed organizations that can also demonstrate meaningful, lasting impact. It is no longer good enough to make the case that we are addressing real needs. We need to prove that we are making a real difference. Across the country, conversations are shifting among funders, especially donors, foundations, and government. This shift is driven by a what works movement, where advocates suggest, let's find out what really works and then make it work for more people. Experts suggest that we need innovative tools that do more than simply count the number of programs offered or the number of people served. We also need to measure outcomes and impact, the successful results of our efforts, and how much people's lives are transformed. So how do we know if things are really working? Well, funders suggest that communities can successfully answer this question if their helping agencies will shift their approach to helping others. Funders suggest that communities shift from a social service to a social change model. A social service model values efficient service providing, which for the most part is reliable. However, it can be perceived by people in need as an impersonal and more of a get-by approach to helping others. A social change model values effective caregiving, which is more relational and more of a getting-ahead approach to helping others, which fosters transformation. Funders also suggest that communities shift from a single-focused agency approach to a community-focused collaborative care approach. A single-focused agency approach happens when the lack of resources forces agencies to specialize in programs and services that are vital, but unfortunately have limited impact. A community-focused collaborative care approach advocates for a well-connected network of agencies that are working together more efficiently and effectively to coordinate comprehensive or holistic outcomes. Leading experts in developing lasting solutions to social problems suggest that large-scale social change requires broad cross-sector coordination. Yet the social sector remains focused on the isolated intervention of individual organizations. Isolated impact happens when organizations work separately and compete to produce the greatest amount of independent impact, which for the most part is limited and does not transform lives. Collective impact strives for large-scale social change, supported by cross-sector partnerships working together for common good and greater impact. This is a better context for helping others because helping agencies connect, learn from each other, and collaborate for the well-being of everyone in the community. Funders also suggest that helping agencies shift from assessments based upon unreliable assumptions to reliable data-driven decision-making. Unreliable assumptions fosters a fragmented understanding of people's needs and wastes resources and limits results. Data-driven decision-making drives a resourceful and comprehensive understanding of what works and what doesn't. These shifts in conversation are also happening because funders, community stakeholders, and helping agencies all agree that moving the needle on complex challenges like poverty, hunger, health disparities is not easy. However, it has become apparent that there are obvious reasons for this, which include the following. Most communities are plagued by fragmentation, especially among helping agencies. Fragmentation can be described as the right hand not knowing what the left hand is doing. I remember a helping agent in my community saying, "I've been a social worker in this community for over 30 years, and agencies do not talk to one another." We have also learned that experts, especially those who advocate for collective impact, suggest that too much emphasis is placed on helping people get by and not enough on helping people get ahead to a better quality of life and a brighter future. We have also discovered that communities struggle to find solutions for their dysfunctional helping and referral systems, mostly caused by siloed service gaps. These tear wide, gaping holes in a community's social service safety net, which causes people to fall through the cracks. These also make it extremely difficult for children, adults, and families to find knowledge and resources from across their community that can help transform their lives. We have also discovered that most communities struggle with an unresourceful use of local community assets for helping others. There is too much wasteful duplication of resources, which could easily be resolved by care networking and effective referrals. We also found that most helping agencies struggle to maintain a constant flow of resources. Many have an unreliable dependency on yearly grants, which they believe could tip the scales on their effectiveness and sustainability. We are learning that most community stakeholders lack insight into the power of collective community impact. Perhaps this is because they are not aware of emerging trends and best practices that could revolutionize the way they think and act. Oftentimes, when made aware of these possibilities, community stakeholders say, "I did not know that this is possible." We are encouraged that communities are learning how to help themselves and not be constantly dependent upon outside resources. This challenge has spawned proven methodologies and capacity-building tools like appreciative inquiry and asset-based community development. These remarkable tools help community stakeholders tap into an abundant but often unrecognized wealth of local community assets. These can include the compassion and generosity of local citizens, life-enriching programs and services available throughout their community, trusting relationships and common interests that could lead to exciting community partnerships, diverse stakeholders who are willing to explore the mutual benefits of a better together civic culture in their community. A tremendous wealth of knowledge, wisdom, and creative ideas that can be discovered and connected for collective community impact. Tapping into a community's abundant wealth of local assets can increase broader public participation in civic affairs, increase volunteerism by as much as 300%, get more people involved in giving back to their community, reduce dependence upon state and federal funds, increase local mobilization of resources by millions of dollars. This all starts by simply getting to know others in your community, listening to their vision, and learning about what programs and services they can offer. These remarkable discoveries can be harvested and aligned for collective community impact. Perhaps the greatest outcome would be the maximizing of a community's collective caring power. May I suggest that helping agencies across a community will have no problem getting the attention of funders if they will simply do the following. Learn how to discover the abundant wealth of local assets or resources that are already present in their community. Use innovative technology and capacity building tools to connect these assets so that they can work together for greater impact. Create mutually beneficial community partnerships and collaboration to co-create opportunities for these assets to be productive and powerful together. Doing these transformative processes will dramatically increase a community's resourcefulness and make all kinds of funders happy and willing to give more to worthwhile causes for generations to come.